So I'm in the Star Trek club, and there's like maybe like 9 of us, 10 of us, and we go to the first time meet Patrick Stewart is when he's doing a show called Last Exit to Chicago or something, and I was like, you know, I was too young to give a shit about the play, but when they came out, he was saying hi to all the paparazzi. There was fucking 300, fucking 100,000. I don't know how many people were there, but he was shaking hands with all of our Star Trek crew. And when he shook my hand, I'm like 14 or 15, and I was frozen in terror. And he's like, "What's your name?" And I was all, and I didn't say nothing. And him and all the paparazzi started busting up laughing. Even though I don't have pictures of it, you can be guaranteed there's a couple dozen paparazzi somewhere who have a picture of me shaking hands for the first time with Patrick Stewart, and I was starstruck, like, oh my god. And everybody, they all took it easy on me and just kind of let me disappear into the crowd. That was my first meeting with him. Then we're doing a car wash to raise money in a nearby town next to me to go to the Star Trek convention. And I see this black dude, just totally dressed normal, dude, wearing like a military like bomber jacket and jeans. And I was like, why is everybody hanging out with him? We're trying to wash cars. Who the fuck is that guy? And somebody goes, Josh, that's Michael Dorn. That's fucking Worf. And I was all, ah, ah. So so I of course got pictures with him, and how embarrassing for him. But he had to get pictures with my mom and dad, who happened to show up, because like they showed up probably to bring my dumbass lunch. And I was like, Mom, Dad, that's Worf. So there's pictures. I'll show them to you eventually. Um, and then, that was then. And then the next time, Patrick Stewart comes down to our city in San Diego. He takes a train down. He's wearing jeans and a normal outfit, and he had a bit of a disguise, like a hat. I don't, so he didn't have to get bothered. And I feel really bad for him that he had to come hang out with a bunch of nerds, when he could have been off like banging some chick or something. But he played his part, man. He came down and he spent like 6 hours with us all day in a house. And we just all shot the breeze. I think we played like Pictionary. We played some sort of a game. But anyway, it was like a dozen of us and him. And, and by the way, I was the one who taught Patrick Stewart the term low budget. He never heard that before, but I was talking about films because I've seen everything. At that age, I was watching every fucking thing. I asked him about Dune. I asked him about Excalibur, and I was like, "How did you do the scene in Dune when you're fighting, Atreides? What's his kook? And you're wearing that armor and shit?" And he talked about how he wore a skateboard and rolled across the ground and slid towards the camera. Anyway, he was telling us really cool stuff, and for the first time I mentioned that a movie was low budget. I'm the one who taught Patrick Stewart the term low budget. He goes, low budget? And I go, yeah, that's a term me and my friends use to describe shitty films. He started busting up. He goes, he goes, I think he even said something like, I can't use that term in the industry when describing films I've done or films that I'm asked to do. But he goes, that's funny as hell. You guys call them low budget? I said, yeah, they're just low budget pieces of shit. He's like, oh my God, that's hilarious. So I'm the one who taught Patrick Stewart to enjoy the word low budget when referring to shitty films. But then you fast forward and we do the Star Trek convention. And this is all of us. There's like a dozen of us. And we're staying at like the fucking Hilton, dude. It was awesome. But Patrick Stewart, Richard Summers, I think is his name, and like 2 other dudes come up to our hotel room, dude. We chill again with Patrick Stewart, Richard Summers, and another producer, a big league fucking dude. And they hung out with us for like 3 hours, dude, partying. So, man, bravo and props to the Hollywood scene, dude. You guys, I know it sucks for you to do that. You could be doing coke, you could be doing hookers, and you got to deal with us fucking young nerds. But man, that really meant a lot to me. And then, uh, oh, then like a couple months later, we're invited to Paramount Studios, or it's Paramount. We go up there, and there's, and 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 dude, if you watch that episode of Ricky Schroeder, look up Ricky Schroeder from Silver Spoons. The episode he's in when he's arguing with Captain Picard, Patrick Stewart, um, that scene where they're in Captain Picard's office, I'm in the next room. I'm watching that. Like I'm 10 feet away. Me and our crew, our clique, we were in the equivalent of Patrick Stewart's office closet. They just took the door off because there was no cameras going to show it. And I'm in the next room. I watched that. And Ricky Schroeder, dude, that was cool. It was cool to see him because I was like, oh, Ricky Schroeder. Ah, fuck yeah. Because I was watching Silver Spoons a year or two earlier or whatever. Um, then, um, shit, was there one last time? Um, oh, oh. And when they were done shooting, Patrick Stewart takes us back to his RV. He had, of course, a big ass top of the line 1990 fucking RV, but so did everybody else, dude. There was RVs all over the place, and this is where I met what's his name, Data. Data comes out, and what really sucks about me being introduced to Data is we're all standing around hanging out with Patrick and like some producers or whoever, and Data walks up. You know what's his name? Embarrassed, I can't remember his name right now. So long ago. But he comes up and he's wearing a Hawaiian shirt and Hawaiian shorts and sandals. And I was like, and I see everybody shaking his hand. And again, I'm like, who the fuck is this white dude that matters right now? And somebody saw Josh. I shook his hand and I was like, nice to meet you, random dude, whatever. And and then I'm looking at it for a while and I'm like, oh my God, did I just meet Data? Ow! 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 And he was totally chill, dude. He was a totally laid back guy. He's like, hey, how's it going? How's it going? Hey, good to meet you. And then we go into Patrick Stewart's RV, and we're all just sitting around hanging. And President Bush fucking called to say hi to Patrick Stewart. It was so rad. Patrick Stewart didn't even know, but he goes in there and he pushes play on his answer machine. It's like, hey Patrick, this is George, just seeing how you're doing and making blah blah blah, like a little shooting the shit. And Patrick was listening. He's all George. He's all, this is George, and George Bush was motherfucking president, and we're just all, what? Anyways, I think they mentioned playing golf, but I just remember sitting there going, George Bush motherfucking called to this fucking RV. Ah, this is so much fun. So anyway, that was all the time I spent in the club. I think we were only there 2-3 years. A lot of that happened real quick, but what a time, dude. What a fun time. Damn, dude.